Let's catch up with Sarah Henderson now, the Shadow Education Minister, joining us live from Melbourne. Good to talk to you, Sarah. You in the Liberal Party and the Coalition more broadly, looking at the wash-up to the election and all the rest of it. It's understandable you look at policies and you've got to get a new front bench and all of that. But the idea that nuclear could be tossed out, you know, as a policy altogether, it just seems... It seems unthinkable, right? Wouldn't that just be the end of you as a serious party if you were to say that nuclear energy suddenly now is not the responsible path forward for this nation?
Well, Chris, great to join you, and we have a lot of soul searching to do following a pretty significant loss at the last election. But part of that is to review our policies in a measured and very systematic way. So I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I won't be making any predictions about what we will and won't announce in relation to nuclear or any other policy. But what I will say, Chris, is we have an energy crisis in this country as a result of the Labor government's renewables-only reckless policy, which of course is driving up power bills and forcing so many Australians to choose between eating and heating. It's an absolute disgrace that a country as lucky as ours is forcing so many Australians into so much hardship, and it is because of Labor's policies, and we are determined to hold the government to account and to, of course, to deliver a set of policies to fix that going forward.
Yeah, well, my point is, and you're absolutely right, and this is clear, and this is my point. If you were to stick to net zero and get rid of nuclear, well, then you have no policy. You're just endorsing the chaos that Labor have embraced. The only other option is to scrap net zero and go back to coal and gas. And I just can't see you doing that. Surely you're going to have to stick with net zero. Even if you don't put 2050 on it, you're going to have to say that you're heading towards net zero at some stage.
Well, Chris, Susan Lee has hit the ground running as our new leader, and she will undertake a very measured and, as I say, systematic approach to policy review involving every member of our team, including in relation to energy policies. But what Australians do know, and I'll say this again because it is a very serious situation in this country, Labor is wrecking our economy. If we don't have a sensible energy policy, if we don't have lower electricity bills and gas bills going forward, we are going to drive this country off a cliff. And that is why we have to work very, very hard to prosecute the case, hold the government to account. And of course, part of that is doing so with a lot of humility and grace to work out what we did wrong and work out how we can improve our policy offering going forward.
I just want to show you what your Victorian Senate colleague, Jane Hume, had to say about energy policy today.
The electorate has sent us a very clear message what it is that they want in their government. Abandoning net zero, I don't necessarily think is consistent with that. That's a discussion for the party room.
I think she's right, as I just said. I don't think you can abandon net zero, even if you adjust the timing. But you can't get to net zero without nuclear. So, sure, there's a lot more detail required on nuclear. There wasn't enough before the election. Sure, it would be good to get government funding out of it, all the rest of it. But the essential point here is that Australia has no secure, reliable, affordable energy future unless, in the medium term, we embrace nuclear energy. Is that not true?
Well, Chris, we're very proud of the set of policies that we took forward in relation to energy security. Clearly, under Labor, this is a government which is driving our country off a cliff. The reckless renewables approach is going to destroy our economy. Let's face it, look at what is happening in Victoria. We are running out of gas. We are running out of gas. We've got the Greens prosecuting the shutdown of coal and gas tomorrow. And of course, they've worked hand in glove with Labor to get the government re-elected. So we will be delivering a very, very strong offering of policies in relation to our energy security and energy affordability, but I won't be preempting anything today, Chris.
Oh, I can see that. I can see you won't be preempting anything. Let me just observe, though, that if it abandons nuclear as part of the mix, you're going to lose all credibility as a party on energy, I would suggest. I want to get back to your portfolio area that has been over the past term, education, of course, and you've taken a strong stand against the controversial academic Randa Abdel Fattah, who's a pro-Palestinian advocate. She's been very, very divisive divisive, but she's offering to sort of teach teachers and teach school children about the Palestinian issue. Obviously, from her perspective, you're saying that the federal government should keep her out of schools. How can they do that?
Well, Chris, we've taken a very strong stand on getting back to basics. We delivered a strong policy to return Australia to a top 10 education nation, because 1 in 3 children is currently failing NAPLAN through no fault of teachers. Teachers have been let down, students have been let down, and frankly parents have been let down, including by a range of Labor government policies, poor teacher training in our universities. So we've taken a very strong stand on those things. But as part of getting back to basics, children deserve the very best, and they don't deserve extremism or activism in the classroom. And this particular academic is offering to run classes which I think are contrary to the obligations of all schools to provide the very best education. And that is why I have called on the Education Minister, Jason Clare, to ensure that these classes do not go ahead.
Yeah, well, good on you. It's a good stand. And look, you've been strong on these issues on education for years, getting back to the basics, uncluttering the curriculum, getting activism out of the classroom. So let's hope you can stay in the education portfolio, get some consistency there, because I think it's another area where the coalition's really got to hold the government to account right around the country. Thanks for joining us.